Good evening and welcome to Spotlight. My name is Nuong Falong. This evening we're looking at security among minorities in Ghana in the wake of the killing of 9 Fulani men who were killed in an attack at Zakwali it's one of the suburbs of Yendi. Now there were also 4 others who were injured in this attack. The 9 persons I should mention have since been buried. Several homes were also burned and several properties destroyed. The members of the community suspect that this attack was brought about or is as a result of a reprisal attack over a robbery incident which occurred on Tuesday, April 12. In this robbery incident, 2 people were killed at Zagbang on the Yendi-Zabzugu road. So there are residents of Zakwali who think that this is what started this particular incident and brought about a reprisal attack on the people of Zakwali. 9 persons were killed. 4 other persons still in the hospital receiving treatment. How did this happen? Why did it happen? And if you follow in the last few years, more than the last few years, there's been a very tense relationship between Fulani herdsmen and some locals, especially in farming communities, which sometimes escalates into very violent attacks. We're going to be looking at that holistically and find out how we can bring finality to the issues between Fulani herdsmen and locals. We'll be speaking with some security experts. We'll also be speaking with our Northern Regional Correspondent who will be giving us more information about this incident. Let's go for a quick break, and when we come back, we get into these issues. Stay with us.
If you're into content production for digital or TV, say hello to the MX24 Studios. We're the prime location for your music video shoots, live productions, TV shows, and more. From state-of-the-art equipment to a very skilled production team, we've got you covered. Step into our modern and spacious studio with a changeable lighting system and foolproof sound. Our touchscreen studio projection monitors come with other features, including Wi-Fi connection, screen mirroring, and a remote workspace mode. Take advantage of our high-quality cameras to shoot in 4K and a variety of the best lighting equipment guaranteed to put life into your sets. Locate us on the first floor of the Silicon House building off the Boundary Road, East Legon. Give us a call on 024-235-5956 or 054-454-8612. You can also email us at info@mx24gh.com.
The Saturday nights just got better.
With unimaginable excitement.
10 toes, one girl, make it touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it. Ow, ow, yeah, yeah, yeah.
The most heated rap battles.
Squad for the work with soldiers, but on your campo, Bema.
I feel you menace ready, it be me with the top. Godzilla self chop, who be King Kong.
And of course, your A-list celebrity interviews.
I've always said this though, there can only be one Bob Marley, so definitely there should be one episode.
Me? The threesome.
Orafu wa comedy woman nede. Yeah. Nyansa. Don't fuck. Lighter.
With myself, Oforiwa.
I'm Jason Alay, and I do this with the man,
DJ Varosky.
Where the party there today? Hey mama, hey I ever say.
Welcome back to Spotlight. I mentioned before we went on that break, we're looking at security of minority groups in Ghana. We're zooming in specifically on the Fulani due to an incident that we've been dealing with since last week. 9 persons were killed in an attack at Zakoli, which is a suburb of Yendi. This is in the northern region. 4 others were injured in the attack. The 4 other persons, I believe, are still in the hospital. We'll be getting an update on their condition in a moment. And we want to understand exactly why this happened. Not that it's the first, but we still want to understand why these issues keep happening, especially where Fulani headsmen and locals are concerned. So I'm just going to speak quickly to David Takal, who's our Northern Regional Content Manager. He's on the line right now. David, good evening. David, if you can hear me.
Hello?
Yes, David, thank you. I just need you to give us a quick update on this issue that we're dealing with right now. 9 persons were murdered. Do we know the identity of these 9 persons?
Actually, over here, the network is not that stable, but it's quite better now.
Okay, we can hear you for now, so let's manage with what we have for now. Who are these 9 persons? Have they been identified?
Actually, before we got to the scene, they were being murdered, and those who were involved, we couldn't meet anybody. We only saw the dead body. And also, they are not all that familiar with me, but some of them were able to be identified by myself. But other ones, I couldn't identify them.
Right. You also say you did not see the killers?
Actually, we didn't meet anybody there.
Because when you read accounts of eyewitnesses, some say that, they were resting in their rooms when suddenly they heard gunshots. When they came out, they noticed that some people had been shot, and some people were doing the shooting. So,
yeah, actually, my electoral area per se consists of about 24 electoral communities. Communities within that electoral area, and I have where I stay. And more to the point, I am in town. I'm a private worker, so we're about to vacate our students on that very day. So I was in the school when a call came that there was some kind of burning around that community. So I quickly called police, and then they said they were mobilizing men to go. So I took my motorbike, and then I went and met police there, and we all saw those who were dead lying down. We couldn't meet those who did that. Before we got to the scene, everything was calm. We couldn't see anybody at that place.
David, do we know what happened? Why this happened?
Actually, that's what we are all thinking about. I can't tell. I didn't know what really happened, frankly.
What kind of community is this? When you look at Zakoli, what kind of community is it exactly? Who are the people that live there?
Yeah, we have about 3 tribes staying in that community, which are Fulani, Kunkumbes, and the Gumbes.
So, typically, is it a peaceful community? Do these tribes live in peace?
Actually, I don't see any problems within that community. They are all staying there peacefully, and they are all friends, and they go to each other, solving each other's problems.
And these 9 people that have been killed, are they members who live within that community?
Those they killed?
Yes. Do they live within the community?
Yeah, they are in the community.
Do we know anything about the attackers? Where did they come from, a different community, or are they also part of the community? And
like I earlier on said, I didn't know much about it. I was only called by a colleague, a family member whom I share boundary with. I heard it. People said they are burning things there. He called to ask me whether so when he called me, and I also tried to find out, they said it was true. So I quickly called police to alert them. Actually, I don't know whether those people were from that very community or from different places. That one, I can tell.
Have there been any previous incidences like this in that area?
Actually, no. This is my first term of being an assembly member. I've never seen something like that. This is really strange. And it's, disturbing my peace because this is what I am playing against. And it happened. So I am not all that decent. Pleased with that. But I've never seen something like this. This is absolutely strange. It has never happened since I became an assembly member.
Right. George, has there been any identification of the people who committed this crime?
Actually, when we got there, the community people said they were in their homes. They couldn't meet those people. So myself and I wasn't there. And those who were there that they killed. So nobody was there to tell us that these are the real people. And before I got there, like earlier on, the police were there. So they also, tried finding out. I don't know. If you want much about it, you only find out from the police.
Right. Right. Interesting there, George. I'm just surprised that none of the residents has come forward with any information about the killers.
Yes, please.
I'm sorry, George?
I haven't heard anything. Is that?
We haven't heard anything from them.
You mean the community people?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from them.
So none of them saw the killers, or none of them has come forward with information yet. This is a very serious issue. But how are the families taking it, these 9 families?
Before I got there, we have a chief there, Zakwali chief. So some of them were now staying in his house. He took care of them. And since that, then, nothing has been happening again. Everything is calm, and everything is moving on well now. As I said that, when something like happens, you think about it a while. Losing a life is not something small.
But
I say that the people are just seeing there normally, nothing is happening again.
What about those in the hospital? Are they still in the hospital, or have they been discharged?
Yeah, actually, I can't better because of what has happened. I've been running here and there, educating people, and then sometimes the kind of work I'm doing. So sometimes I go there to help, and I go to the chief. Preaching peace.
Right. George, your member of parliament has also been in the area, right?
You mean our MP?
Yes, please.
Actually, since that very day up to now, they don't involve me in any things that they are going to do.
Okay, because, sorry.
I was in the police station when they told me regional minister went to the service.
Okay.
A lot of people have been there, but when they are going, they don't involve me.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's understandable. Is this Honorable Farouk Mahama?
Yes.
Okay, who has also lost his mom anyway.
He lost his mother. I don't know whether he has been to the scene or not. For that one, they are come back. He was in the process of the mother's funeral, right?
Yeah, right.
So I don't know much about his going there. I don't actually know whether he's in or not.
Right. Thank you so much, George. But one last question before we let you go. We also understand that the Vice President has been there and made some donations. Have the families received these donations?
Actually, I also said it, but I was not there at when he donated it. I heard he came and said something to the affected families.
Okay. Thank you so much, George Dana, who is Assemblyman for Zakwali electoral area in the Yendi constituency. Let me go to the line where we have David Takao now, our Northern Regional Content Manager. Hello, David. David, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello, I can hear you.
Great. David, what exactly is going on there now?
Thank you very much for the opportunity given. I think currently the police are on the ground doing their investigation to ascertain the cause of the death of the 8 Fulani herdsmen.
Right. What led to the death of these herdsmen? What exactly happened?
Yes, I think this is a complicated issue, though no one can tell what exactly happened. That was on Thursday, 13th of April, 2022, at exactly 11 to 12 a.m. in the night. We heard there was a robbery incident on Yendi Zamsgu Road, and it was in between a village called Zagbang and Palkabeni, all in the Yendi municipality, where a teacher from one of the secondary school here in Yendi, that is the Zagbang State Senior High School, was shot dead. And I think that is what we know. Actually, we can't ascertain the reason or what has led to the death, but we are told it is a known armed robbery case that happened, and that led to the death of the teacher.
And the updates we're getting so far is that the criminals have not been identified yet. Is this true?
Yeah. Currently, as we speak, immediately after the incident, there was no any arrest. As we speak about, we are promised by the police that their investigations are still ongoing.
Saw the perpetrators of this crime.
Come again?
How come nobody saw them?
Yes, immediately after the, I think the incident happened before the police went there, and as at the time they arrived, there was nobody there to, to arrest, because the usual activities were still ongoing. People were in their homes, families were still intact, so nobody was arrested as at the time that the police arrived. And
as we speak now, has anyone been arrested?
No, there has not been any arrest now, but the police have promised investigations are ongoing.
Right. Do you know of any plans that the families are making at present? The families of the deceased?
Yes, if you go to the community, as of yesterday in the evening, I went to the community, and there are temporary houses that they have made for the for the families to stay, and some who also have their families in the nearby communities have went to stay there. So I think that is the state of the families now. They have made some temporary temporary structures for the families to stay, and some to those who are having families outside. That some too are staying over there.
David, what about those in the hospitals, those who are still receiving treatment? Have they been discharged? Are they still in the hospitals?
Yes, they are currently responding to treatment. The 4 of them are currently responding to treatment, and we are told within some days, if everything still remains the same, they will be released. So they are currently responding.
Still in the hospital?
Yes, please.
Right. Thank you so much, David. I'll come back to you shortly, but let's turn our attention in studio, where we have Ahmed Barry, who's president of the Fulani Youth Association of Ghana. Hello, Ahmed. Thank you for joining us in studio.
Hi, how are you?
Very well. So have they all been identified as Fulani men?
Yes, please. I just came back from Zakoli this afternoon. We were there since Thursday when it happened. So it's very unfortunate, but life goes on.
If we listen to the correspondent, he mentioned that there are 3 tribes in that community. They have the Kokumba, there's Amdagumbes, there are Fulanis. Why do you think this was targeted at just the Fulani young men?
Well, it is very unfortunate that anytime something happens, Fulanis are targeted. We don't really know why this thing keeps happening in Ghana. It is not only in Zakwali. This is not the first time. We have a number of places from January, let's say from December to to April now. We have incidences where Fulanis were attacked, some were killed, other places their homes burnt, other places their cows shot. It's not only in Zakwali. The case in Zakwali is very unfortunate. The information we have so far as at now, this morning, was that there was one man who was killed by the roadside, and then by unknown men or known gunmen. Allegedly was caused by armed robbers or whoever did it, we don't know. But the next, few hours, about 12:30 in the afternoon, the Fulanis in Zakwali were actually attacked. We were surprised because the people the Konkomers who came in as far as to Zakwali to do the attack are not from Zakwali. They are rather from a different village. And they left there, attacked these people in Zakwali.
So you think the people who committed the crime are not from that community?
They are not from Zakwali. They are not from Zakwali.
But we've not identified them
We've not identified them yet, but the chief and his, community members were witness to what has happened, because they were there when the people came in to attack, and they also have to run for their lives.
Right.
Yes, because Zakwali is a small village. If you're able to get the contact of the chief, he will tell you exactly, because most of them were in the house when the attack happened. And you could see that the Fulanis are just about 100 meters away from the chief's palace, from the Zakwali chief's palace. It's just the same vicinity, just because the animals are a bit sketched from like 100 meters from the main community. We don't really know, but it's very unfortunate.
Yeah. When we listen to the correspondent, he mentions that there had been an initial incident, which was a robbery. How are the two linked?
Well, till now, police hasn't said anything about it. We are also surprised that police even didn't issue any statement till now, which is more than 24 hours. Because we were expecting that at least the police will, issue a police statement on the happenings and then also do a follow-up. As we speak now, our men are also on the ground, trying to console the families. What really happened, you cannot tell. Because the body that was said was found dead, we don't know where the body is. Whether there was an autopsy done to show that, he was hit by a gun, by a stick or something, we don't know. And this is what we need to know, so that the police can also tell us that, yes, it was true, the person was killed by a gun or by a stick or something. Even if he was killed by that, does it mean it's a Fulani? Does it mean it's a Fulani tribe? Does it mean the person nobody was seen killing him? But the information we got also was that allegedly that he was dating one Kokomba's wife or something like that, and some stories are just coming up. So we don't know whether it was robbery or it was killed by somebody or whatever. We don't know.
Have you been able to contact the families on the ground, where the families that have lost people?
Yes, we were with them yesterday. Yesterday evening, I was there myself around 4. We have to go back and then console them, talk to them, and then also let them understand that it's very unfortunate. And we are also talking to our youth. As of now, as we speak, most of the families are traumatized, and I think they need, some kind of, sensitization. They need to be talked to, because they are in shock. They are in shock.
See, I want you to explain to us, this is an opportunity for people to understand exactly who are the Fulani people. Which parts of Ghana do you find them?
If you want me to tell a bit history about Fulanis have been in Ghana for the past, I would say since the 14th century.
Okay.
For example, myself, my grandfather was a former, the then Gold Coast Regiment. Then it wasn't even Ghana Armed Forces. They settled in Ghana way back in the 80s, 1880s, thereabout. Before then, there were Fulanis in Ghana. If you go to Accra, for example, Cow Lane, it's a cow lane. The whites couldn't mention it's Fulani like the Kaole. Kaole means where cattle are settled, or maybe ranch or something like that. Then it was turned into Cow Lane, Kaole, Cow Lane. That became like a cow lane. There used to be a lot of cows in Accra Tudu, as we speak. Okay. And then they moved to Nima. They move as the city is developing. So Fulanis have been in Ghana for more than, let's say, 400 years ago. But we have Fulanis who are also coming in and going out. Just like every country, you find a foreigner. Somebody would like to come and settle. Somebody would like to go and come. We have them in Ghana. But we have Ghanaian Fulanis. As we speak, you know, our second lady, I just remember she's a Fulani. Adamu Ramadan, our MP for Adenta, he's also a Fulani. Their father, who happens to be Muhammad Ramadan, he's also a Fulani. And he is the ambassador to United Arab Emirates. We have a lot of Fulanis in Ghana who have been in Ghana for more than many years ago. You see, because of migration, because of the migration and all that, that keeps people think, or the society think, that Fulanis are always foreigners because they don't settle at one particular place. If they do, it means Fulani will own a lot of land in Ghana, because the first place where Fulani will say is a bush. And when the place is developing, he has to move his cows away. And if he has to stay till that place becomes his own, maybe he will automatically buy it, which our grandfathers did that. You see, so when we're talking about where or who are the Fulanis, Fulanis are nomadic herdsmen. We have Fulanis who are businessmen. We have Fulanis who are doctors. We have Fulanis who are professors like Sheikh Barry. We have a lot of prominent Fulanis in Ghana. Just that the society, the society has brought it, the idea that Fulanis are always maybe bad people or maybe, and you know, it's very unfortunate.
Barry, I'm going to come back to you in a moment. I like the line on which you have ended. Sometimes, you know, people think Fulanis, there's some problem there. I want you to explain it. Why you think, you know, people have this perception, how we can break down that perception. But let me go to our security analyst who's just joined us on the line. Adib, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Apologies for keeping you waiting.
That's okay. No, good evening, and good evening to my brother Barry.
Adib, when you look at this situation, what exactly do you think is happening from the security perspective?
Well, it's a lot, but I think the most important aspect of this all is the cycle of impunity. It's not been easy for the leadership of the Fulani community in Ghana to continue with their peace advocacy efforts. And Barry is in the studio, he would agree with me. A lot of members of the Fulani communities, especially in that part of the country, are so angry, they are so livid. Some are even threatening to stage reprisal attacks to avenge the killings of their brothers. And Barry and some other notable Fulani leaders have been impressing on them to remain calm and keep an eye on what government would be doing, particularly the police going forward. We've had the Vice President go there. The Northern Regional Minister spoke on his behalf and reassured them of the government's unflinching commitment to making sure that justice is served. However, all of this is on the heel of past attacks staged against Fulanis, and nobody has been held to account. One of the notable ones was the 2011 attacks in Kushegu, resulting in the death of 14 Fulanis. In fact, there are cases involving the killings of Fulanis, some people getting arrested and bailed, and nothing has been done with respect to that case any longer. And all of this is also bringing up the issue of stereotypes. And I think this presents to us a unique opportunity to educate Ghanaians to get to understand that not all Fulanis are foreigners. The first census conducted in 1891 had Fulanis living in Ghana. There were a lot of Fulanis living in Ghana before 1957. And so a lot of these Fulanis you see today are second, third, fourth generation Fulanis, including our very own second lady. In fact, including my wife. I think she's a fourth generation Fulani. But that doesn't make her a foreigner, even though I do agree also that there are some Fulani foreigners. But my biggest concern is for us to behave like they are not human enough, and atrocities can be perpetrated against them and nobody would be held to account is certainly a major cause for worry, especially for stakeholders like myself within the security space.
Adib, where do you think this friction comes from, this thing with Fulanis? Why is there such bad blood between most locals and Fulanis?
Well, we have to accept the fact that there seems to be a stereotype that is particularly also fed, unfortunately, by the media. And I get emotional when I talk about the media because I'm a journalist myself. So you can let's put something into perspective, okay? So you can imagine MX24 putting out a headline like 3 Dagomba robbers caught, or 3 Ashanti robbers caught. I mean, it sounds weird, right?
Okay, yes, but it's targeted.
But how about, good, so how about 3 Fulani robbers caught? We are accustomed to it. It's very pronounced. I mean, you hear this almost every day in the media. And that is what is making some Ghanaians feel that Fulanis are criminals. I mean, I can't run away from the fact.
Sorry, Adib, let me just mention that Adib is making an example. It doesn't mean MX24 has put out such a headline. We do not do that. Please continue.
Absolutely. Yeah. I trust in MX24 so far as journalistic ethics is concerned. But we have a lot of other media houses who do exactly that. Okay?
Right.
And you see, I cannot deny the fact that there are hardened Fulani criminals. The same way there are hardened Ashanti or Ewe or Dagomba criminals. Because they say in every room there's a Mensa, right? But my problem is for us to paint all of Fulanis with a single stroke of brush because of the criminal acts of a negligible few. That is unfair, okay? Secondly, I think it has got to do with a lot of misunderstanding. You know, a lot of Fulanis, not all of them, by the way, are not mad. You know, once you hear Fulani, the name Fulani mentioned, you feel that, oh, he's supposed to be carrying a stick, you know, looking after cows in the bush. We have the nomads, we have the sedentary Fulanis, we have different types of Fulanis, okay? Another issue is got to do with what I call marginalization.
Okay.
No, believe it or not, there are communities in Ghana where Fulanis are denied basic services, including Ghana card registration, invariably SIM registration. They are denied access to health delivery because they
right.
Healthy rights. There are also instances where Fulanis have had their passports confiscated by cannot be Ghanaians.
Right.
And I must say is disturbing. And the fear is there's a direct correlation between marginalization and insurgency or insecurity.
Adib, I think we're having issues with your line. I'm not sure exactly what's
People
happening.
feeling their rights have been trampled upon. There's always a probability of some bad nuts taking advantage of those local grievances to perpetrate violence against other communities. And I think we need to watch out. That is why I said what is happening poses a direct existential threat to the security of the state.
Adib, when we look at this problem, how much of a security problem is it where Ghanaians are concerned?
No, can you please come again? It's muted.
I said this particular incident, what does it mean for security in Ghana?
Well, the fear is, like I indicated, we might also taking the into own hands and staging revenge attacks against other communities. They feel that.
Right. Adib, we're going to try to stabilize your line because it's very hard to hear you and maintain a stable connection. It keeps dropping. So we'll come back to you shortly, but let's come back in studio to Ahmed Barry, who's here in studio with me. Ahmed, you heard Adib sometimes mentioning this relationship and so much antagonism between locals and Fulani people. Where do you think this is coming from? How did this come up? He also mentioned a few discriminatory things against the Fulani people, sometimes even in healthcare, when they're trying to get identification. If you could add to that, please.
Yes, that is true. Not only that, even birth set. Sometimes we are denied birth set. When someone is born in Ghana, you ask, the nurses will just, tell the person that you are not a Ghanaian. You will just see the person. We have a lot of birth set that they show to us that indicates that their names, for example, parent, then they will write their parents are from Burkina Faso. You see, okay. They will indicate Fulani, this person from Burkina Faso or maybe Mali or Niger. That makes it automatic because the constitution of Ghana says that both parents have to be Ghanaians, right? So if your parents are from Burkina Faso and you are born in Ghana, doesn't make you a Ghanaian. Most of their birth set, they don't know. They just do it like that. Sometimes they don't even, for example, when someone doesn't have a birth set and is missing, maybe he wants to do any national documents, I go to the birth set and say, I want to do birth set. They will tell you, you're a Ghanaian. You are not a Ghanaian, so you can't do even birth set. And that is wrong. And most of these things happens, excuse me, just like Adib was saying earlier on media. The media has made Fulanis popular to the society that we are looked at as to be bad people.
A lot of negative
exactly.
coverage.
Fulani is a tribe. Fulani is not a person's name. For example, my name is Ahmed Barry. I'm a Fulani. If I go and do any bad thing, my name should be mentioned in there, not my tribe. And this is the same trend that is happening when they say suspected Fulanis. It means you are tagging the whole tribe as criminals. And this has made everybody in Ghana, or let's say even outside Ghana, think that Fulanis are bad people. The media started this. And to be honest with you, it has gotten to the extent that we are planning on any media house. For example, if there's any robbery case and you say 3 Fulani armed robbers, we'll take that media on. We are not going to sit and watch that happen again because this is like you are giving especially the local, televisions, the local televisions, Fulani 4 and a Fulani 4 and a Fulani 4. For example, you are trying to make us look like every Fulani person is a bad person. Does it mean any person if you go to the prisons, there are not only Fulanis in the prisons. In the prisons, there are a lot of tribes in there. Recently, you could remember in Bono region when one sports journalist or something like that killed one man, put the child in the fridge or something like that. Was his tribe mentioned? If it was to be a Fulani today, trust me, the Fulanis around that area all are going to be attacked because they say Fulani for Nakoyenti, like Fulanis have done this, so they have to go and attack them, which it is very wrong. So we are pleading to the media houses to make sure, and the print media, whenever we have a lot of print media that is like our evidence that shows that you will see 2
stereotyping.
Exactly, 2 Fulani armed robbers and other 2. Who are the other 2? The Fulani, don't they have maybe Kojo Thompson and this person and then 2 other Fulanis? Why do you bring the 2 Fulanis? Fulani is a tribe. It's not a person's name. The current president of Nigeria, Mahmoud Buhari, is a Fulani. Macky Sall of Senegal is a Fulani. If you go to Gambia, Adama Barrow is a Fulani. The secretary to the United Nations, she's a Fulani.
Barry, how can we improve the relationship between the locals and the Fulani people? Because it starts from down there. How can we make the relationship more peaceful?
For now, we need a lot of sensitization. We need a lot of education. We need to do a lot of education to the locals, to the chiefs, to to everybody. Let the media houses stop using the word Fulani
to describe
people.
Yeah.
Let us not use tribe to describe people. For example, what happened in Zokoli, they say Konkomba and Fulani. It means that the Konkomba and the Fulani name out there says something, which is wrong.
But what's the relationship between the Kokomba and the Fulani people?
If you go to the village where the alleged attackers came and killed the Fulanis, there are Fulanis in their taking care of their cattle in that village.
I see.
And they didn't attack those Fulanis. Why do you leave the Fulanis in your community and come to another community and attack Fulani? It means you have an agenda. That is what we see. We feel like they have an agenda against those particular Fulanis, or maybe they have something in their mind that made them attack Zakoli. It is not only maybe Fulanis or something, because they have Fulanis who are taking care of their cattle. Konkomba man, yes, Fulani is taking care of his cattle in that particular village. There are a lot of Fulanis who are caretakers of Konkomba, cattle. So why do you attack the Fulanis?
Cattle,
exactly. And these cattle you see, fine, Fulanis are nomads, but doesn't mean all the cattle belongs to them. A lot of people, a lot of prominent people own cattle who are not Fulanis, and Fulanis are taking care of them. It is not any Fulani man you see who is a cattle herdsman. It is not any herdsman you see who is a Fulani.
Also, there
are cowboys or cattle owners who are not Fulanis at all. You see boys in the bush taking cowboys, but they are not Fulanis. If you go to Volta region here, most part of the region, yes, there are other tribes who are taking care of cattle like just the Fulanis. It is not only the Fulani who are, cattle owners or cowboys. No.
What kind of support has the community received since this happened? Has there been specific government agencies that have reached out to try to deal with the families and bring finality to the problem?
Yes, for the past years, I would say I would recommend and also thank His Excellency, the Vice President, for the first time in Ghana where Fulani atrocities happens. The Vice President was able to come. He moved all the way from Accra. He came around to console with the people and then brought in some relief items for them. He promised also that NADMO will do, a lot, will bring in, relief items to them. So far, he gave them 60,000, and also those that are in the hospital, there were 4 people in the hospital. Yesterday, 1 was discharged. Those in the hospital also, he gave each of them 5,000 each to take care of their hospital bills. And also the families, we saw Red Cross brought about 3 tent canopies. And then I think Fulani Youth Association of Ghana, we've also been able to donate some used clothing to them. And we are still also expecting that other NGOs or the government will do more to these people, because all their homes are bent, and it's raining season. It has already started raining. The other time it rained and it wasn't good. They all have to move and live with the locals who are the Gombes. And we say, I would like to take this opportunity to say a very big thank to the Zakoli chief. He's done a lot because he has been accommodating them since. And then most of them to their family members are not within, they are far. So some of them also came, to console with them and then bring some, relief items. We are still expecting more. We are still expecting more from the government.
Have they been specifically identified, the persons who passed?
Yes, those that passed on, all their families were able to identify them. On Saturday, the pathology came, and then he did the autopsy. The families were there to identify each of their families.
Has the autopsy findings been released?
Not yet. That we leave it to the security. They are also still investigating, and we believe that this time around, there will be justice for our people. We need justice for these people, because this is not the first time or second time or third time this is happening. It's been happening every year, killings of Fulani cattle herdsmen, shooting of their cattle. As we speak in Zakoli, when they came to attack Zakoli, they went into other villages and also killed cattle. Over 200 cattle have been killed, yes. And whenever they kill them, they take the meat, put them in the motorkins and then send them away. And they sell it to locals. We have evidences where we see most of them on motorbikes, most of them on cow meat in motorkins. This is not good. This is stealing. This is robbery. It means that you are taking advantage of a particular, incident to rob the people. And this is not good.
Ahmed, do you have any last words so we can just wrap up? Your last words, please.
Well, for us as Fulanis in Ghana, we would like to say we want justice for these people who lost their lives in Zokoli. Not only them, we want the media houses to desist from using the word Fulani anytime even a Fulani person commits a crime. Even if he's a Fulani, just state it that mention his name, don't mention the tribe. The media houses. Apart from the media houses, we are also still appealing to the government to quickly, still support them because it's rainy season already. The Vice President has promised. As at yesterday evening, there were only 3 tents, and there were about almost 12 family members. You see? So we are still appealing to the government to, come to their aid and then, support them.
Thank you so much. Ahmed Barry is president of the Fulani Youth Association of Ghana. He's calling for a lot of help for the families that have been affected in Zakwali. He's also asking for justice for the persons who have lost their lives and the persons who are still in hospital. We'll be following keenly this particular case, and we'll be bringing you updates as the story develops and we know more. My name is Nwang Falong. On behalf of the entire production team here at MX24 Television, we're so grateful that you spent 1 hour of your evening with us. Good evening.
Hey, Abrantia, Aketesia, Ibi Family, Chale, MX24. My baby, must say, baby, about them people that do Mumma and bad.
Hey guys, this is your girl Bishasha.
This is the best MC, best hype man in Ghana 2020. I beg you success, the highest MC. Keep watching MX24.
It is fun, it is fearless, it is factual.